Hello again. Today we're talking about rational functions. All right? And we are going to identify the vertical and horizontal asymptotes of rational functions. And we're also going to state the domain and range. Okay? So remember, a rational function is of the form y equals a over x minus h plus k. And the way we find our vertical and horizontal asymptotes is we find the values of h and k. So let's say we have the equation y equals 3 over x plus 2. All right? And I need to find the value of h and k to find my vertical and horizontal asymptotes. All right, so first I'm going to look for my vertical asymptote, and I'm going to see that h would be right here. Well, this is plus 2, but up here it says minus h. That means that h is equal to negative 2. So my vertical asymptote, my VA, is x equals negative 2. Also notice that k is whatever is out here and off to the side. And since there's nothing being added to this fraction, I can say this is plus 0. And that means that k is 0. And that means that my horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. So now I need to find my domain. So we'll find that first. The domain is, what can x equal? Well, you'll notice that x is here on the bottom of the fraction, and you'll know that you cannot divide by 0. So what would make the bottom of the fraction 0? Well, if x was negative 2. So x cannot equal negative 2. So I'll say it's all real numbers besides negative 2. And the range is what y can be. So is there something that y cannot be? Well, is it possible to divide 3 by something and get 0? Well, there's actually nothing you can divide 3 by to get 0, because you can't divide it by 0. So I'll say it's all real numbers, but it cannot equal 0. So here we have y equals 1 over x minus 3 plus 2. So I'm looking for h and k. Well, right away I see that I have an h and a k. So h equals 3 and k equals 2. So that means that my vertical asymptote is x equals 3. And my horizontal asymptote is y equals 2. Well, now I need to find my domain. So my domain is whatever x can be. Well, if x is 3, that will cause for the bottom of my fraction to be 0, and you cannot divide by 0. So I will say that my domain is all real numbers, but x cannot equal 3. My range is, what can y be? Well, because the bottom of the fraction cannot be 0, that also means that this fraction here cannot equal 0. But if it did equal 0 and I added 2 to it, that would make y equal 2. But y can't equal 2. So we'll say y cannot equal 2. But besides that, I would say that all real numbers would be a great range, except for y equals 2, because y can't equal 2. And that's how you identify the vertical and horizontal asymptotes and state the domain and range of rational functions. Hope that helps. So here I have y equals 3 over x plus 1. So I need to find my h and my k. Well, there's nothing on the bottom of the fraction being added or subtracted to that x. So I can say that it's minus 0. Well, that means that my h is 0, and my k, since it's plus k right here, that means that my k is 1. So my vertical asymptote is x equals 0, and my horizontal asymptote is y equals 1. So my domain will be what x can equal. Well, if x equaled 0, that would put a 0 on the bottom of the fraction here. So x cannot equal 0. So I'll say it's all real numbers, but x cannot equal 0. So for the range, I want to know what y can be. Well, there's no way that this fraction can equal 0. And if this fraction did equal 0, then I would add 1 to it. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So I'm going to say that this is all real numbers, but y cannot equal 1. There's no value for x that you could use that would cause for y to be 1.